happening, everyone? Oh, I've been excited all day for this one. Since this morning, I woke up and I caught up on my Richard Hart stuff, and I was like, dang, there's some stuff to talk about. So, yeah, we got a lot to go through. I'm going to try to keep this at an hour, though. It's going to be jam-packed. Put your questions in the chat. We're going to get to them, as many as I can, at least. And this is, I'm not here to get your hopes up. This is not a hopium stream. If you're new to the channel, I do not do hopium. Don't do clickbait. I don't monetize. Blah, blah, blah. Greatest hits. Plenty of channels can get your hopes up about PulseChain launch any moment. It could be tomorrow. It could be tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Yeah, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to keep my emotions centered, not get caught up in the moment. Here to tell you what my brain is thinking based on the information we have, and generally temper my excitement for PulseChain launch. Everything comes with it. Although I'll tell you, friends, I like these updates. And I'll also say that I don't think RH was ever timing the market. I'm going to throw that out there. I think most of what happened, the delays, all of that was just giving us his, better marketing and engagement type of timelines. He said we were close 500 times. And as well as all the extra work, of course, that it took for E 2.0 for that pivot and all that stuff that happened, we suspect last summer, right? However, we are at the point that if he sees a cherry on top opportunity to launch for the best possible timing in our current local, within, next month or two, future environment, he'll probably do that. I'll say that if he's going to time anything, it'll be like a local timing. We have local highs, all-time highs, all that stuff. It'll be like a local timing, if anything. So I don't think he's timing all along. It's not like in 2020 he was like, oh yeah, on the war room. I like to imagine this big war room, this like huge whiteboard, like a 50-foot whiteboard, all kinds of monitors everywhere, and he just writes like, oh yeah, I had this idea for an L1 named PulseChain. That's when he came up with the name, and it's going to launch in mid-May 2023. Because I'm a genius. I don't think that's what happened. So I don't think it's like, let's work backwards from there, dev team of 3 people. And it's probably got 30 now, for all we know. Don't think that's what happened. Anyway, Vets, welcome, man. I'm going to send it. I feel like when you say that, I have like a baseball bat and somebody throws me a pitch and I'm just, boom, knock it out of the park. I'm going to try to do that for you today, Vets. I'm going to knock one out of the park because I'm feeling excited. Again, not here to beat your drum. Not here to get your hopes up, but wow, I'm just these words are just surrounding me. I just keep picking these things. I think they're my original thoughts, and I look in the chat and people are actually typing these words. Yeah, they are beating louder. So the drum analogy, they're beating louder. Our hearts are beating faster. We all want it to be here, but we're going to have to wait. It's not here yet. Godfather J6, good to see you, man. I will not call you J-Man. There's a J-Man that comes too, but I know yesterday, by the way, I wasn't going to stream today. And again, this morning, I was like, oh, crap, I got to stream. There's like too much going on. Richard's tweeting way too much for me not to stream right now. So welcome, Valen. Big days ahead for the ecosystem. Man, this is like one of those, it's been 2 years. I've been following Richard for 6 years. And Hex launched. PulseChain was announced. Then PulseX. It's just, this delayed gratification thing, I'm on board. My new phrase is I'm in love with compound interest, and delayed gratification. Ooh, it feels good at the end of the delay part, or getting close to the end of it at least. Bang bang, we ain't leaving the worst behind. I know, man. That's actually a great way to look at it. The worst could be behind us. No crystal ball, but we went through a lot of stuff. Brutal bear market last year. So this is definitely given a lot of streamers energy, a lot of people in the community energy. It's great. It's great. Can't wait for the meetup this weekend, by the way, too, with vets and folks. I'm pretty sure you're going to be there, I think. So it'd be great. Put in Guru. What's happening? I'll get into the updates here in a minute. I'm just going to say hi to the chat. Say hi to the people who also give me energy to be here. 5 people are in the chat. I don't know if I would stream. Would I? I probably would. I would just be like, I better make this a really good clip. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth my time getting up here. So I appreciate that. 42 is here, but 45. I think we might break 100 today. I got some cool stuff to talk about. Just putting it out there. I don't want to get your hopes up again, but I feel like I have some information worthy to share. So Compassion, good to see you, man. You've been hopping on that train lately on the RHMax channel. Good to see you, man. Hope to see you. Yeah, am I gonna see you this weekend too? I'm not sure. Hope so. Sarah G, welcome, Sarah. Good to see you. Good to see you. Red Squirrel, good to see you as well. By the way, Red Squirrel, I have a date with Stu in April sometime, and it's at 11 a.m. So you get to come. Yeah, you get to stay. So cool weeks. Just 2 more weeks. Again, it feels that way. If by the way, shout out to Chris Psychedelics. He's I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's going to send me a 2 more weeks hat for free. So yeah, that is the call of a generation. 2 more weeks. Sarah G, in one of Richard's streams, he said he would light the candles. I believe he meant to say, but I remember he said he would light the candles for. He said, let's see. So fresh in my mind, RH vintage stuff. I've been clipping a lot of stuff lately. He said he was going to light the candles. I see he lit them once. What was that? Was that for? When did he light the candles? Chat, help me out. I can't actually remember. But I think he said he's going to light the candles when Hex hits $1. I think that sounds familiar. But he lit them for something else one time. Maybe that was for Hex. Was it Hex launch or was that Hex? I can't remember. Yeah, someone in the chat remind me if you know. I just pumped myself up. I was like, oh, I've been doing all the clips and I've seen all the streams and I totally know this and now I can't remember. But he did light them once. And I actually clipped the candles falling off. It was pretty funny. So that would come out sometime in the next 2 years. I can't remember when I scheduled it. Crypto BD, welcome. Yeah, everyone, keep piling in. I'll just say hi to everyone while we're doing this. Yeah, again, if anyone in chat remembers, tell me why you light the candle. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember why. But he did light them at least one time. I know that. And it was a mess. He got on his laptop or something. I remember clipping that. It's pretty funny. I'm going to go a little bit faster because I don't want to lose my voice today either. But I actually love talking to you guys. FCS service. I think we don't want the wells to pump enough ERC20 to read specific back. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons you could be specific about it, but yeah, it could be one of them. I would actually like to go through the game theory. I kind of mentioned it to Gold Key last night about, why not to give dates for these certain things, pull party airdrop, for example. And I'd actually like to work out that game theory of like what bad side effects could actually happen other than it feels bad, but I would like to see the pros and cons. I would like to go through that a little bit one day. So it could be cool. Yeah, man, it's happening. Great trivia question. Yeah, actually, that is a great one. I got some stuff to give away, at least shirts. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out myself. I mean, I have the video clipped. I just have to go back and watch it. So anyways, let's see. I'm gonna put on Yes Vets. We'll keep it there for a second. 71 people. I'm going to set up what I want to talk about. Let's see. I'm curating the content right now because I want to go through one at a time of his tweets. Also, my thoughts as far as launch goes, what the updates mean, what I believe them to mean, to the best of my knowledge. As your resident dev explainer, or one of them at least. A few people have been doing some content on this, but I believe I'm me and I can do my stuff. So that's what I will do. Also, a really good video I came across recently I wanted to talk about. Shout out, speaking of videos, shout out to, what's his name, Westcott Crypto. He did the Backstreet Boys one. Where's my PulseChain? I want my PulseChain. Hilarious. Shout out to Westcott. Really, really enjoyed that video. And I love content like that. I love people making songs or doing parodies or stuff like that. Hilarious. So very, very good stuff. Give me about 30 seconds here. I'm just pumping everything up and then we're going to dive in. Should probably get a... Hey, what's up, Hexagon Batman? I love your name, by the way, and your handle. That's cool. I love Batman too. Batman's cool. Hex got Turtle. I think he's going to release tomorrow for the Fed. I mean, Nobody knows. He could. I don't. V3, of course. Yeah. I wouldn't buy Hex in anticipation of that. Not financial advice either way, but anyways, let's see. Yeah, let me get a drink and I'll get into it. Tastes like success. Future success for me and everyone else in the community, right? So let's get into it. Let's start with this. Frosty Dog, welcome. Let's start with this. So PulseChain.com, PulseX, Testnet V3 coming along great. AMM bot finish running. So this is something that when I saw the other day and I tweeted too, I was like, oh gosh, we guys still got to run the AMM bot, still got to test PulseX. That wasn't like, I thought it'd take longer than this really. And I tend to be conservative in my estimates and everything anyways, of what even I'm thinking. I don't do predictions and none of that, not really. But that finished pretty quick. So that tells me that AMM bot code is done. And he hadn't really talked about that much, other, whether it was working correctly or not. So that's really good news. Block Explorer indexers are feeding off the Aragon archive nodes. Okay, so cool. That means we have archive nodes running, which let me just pull up so you guys can see what archive nodes even are. So this will just do a little bit better job than off the top of my head, but archive node inherits the same capabilities as a full node and builds the archive of historical states. It basically takes a very long time to sync as well. It can be useful when querying historical blockchain data that's not accessible on full nodes. For example, if you want to access the archive node, if you need block data before the last 128 blocks. So that's the difference in a full node and an archive node. So you run them to basically have access to querying stuff that the full nodes, either information they don't have. It's kind of like cache. If you understand the system of caching, well, it's probably not the best example, but anyways, archive nodes have the information that is good for querying to get different types of stuff. And if you're running a big network, there are probably a few archive nodes around. Ethereum's, I'd like to see the numbers, but some percentages of your nodes will probably be archive nodes if you're running some sort of like professional network. So they're indexing. So hopefully there's no bugs there. Hopefully there's no, oh, we got to stop and redo it. Not that Richard would bring that up anyways. Probably not a big deal. Lighthouse, Prism, and Geth. So the PulseChain clients are working fine too. Fantastic. Reviewing the new validator onboarding process. So bullish. If we're at the stage of we're reviewing documentation and we're reviewing just like how to do a validator, are they getting ready to release stuff on, the scripts and stuff? Maybe there's scripts, maybe there's other things to make it easy to become a validator. It looks like they're reviewing their own process. So when you're at the point you're reviewing a process, that seems like one of the last things you do. So again, not a hopium deal, but that's we're looking pretty close if that's what we're talking about at this point. That's what Richard's tweeting about. So what could come up? There could be bugs on the indexing stuff. Again, Richard's not going to rush anything. We're going to take our time when V3 is out. And yeah, that part's going to be great. So it seems pretty close. This is the update where we don't see any problems happening. So to me, that's a great sign. If we don't hear him talking about working through or smashing some bug, then and he's talking about reviewing documentation, onboarding process, things seem close. So, and then this one I want to go to. A lot of people got really excited about this, but I would temper myself a little bit. So when PulseChain Testnet V3 launches, that would also count as your warning that Mainnet could launch at any time. I wouldn't take that as that's going to be fast. I just wouldn't, because I think we need time for testnets to kind of sort out if there's any bugs and to let different projects test it. we need that sort of extra time. So I would not interpret this as when Testnet V3 launches any day later, Mainnet can launch. I would not interpret it like that. I think I would not want to disappoint myself just being anxious every day waiting on it too. So I still think it could be a month or two after Testnet V3, assuming there's no crazy bugs they find after testing before we get Mainnet. So mid-May is still in play, funny enough. Could be longer, but I would not be counting days and weeks after Testnet V3 for Mainnet. I think this is part of his getting the troops rallied. He wants to get people excited. He wants to, again, what we've been doing for 2 years. We were super excited the first year, 18 months. And then we're like, oh God, we're at the end of it, right? We're, how can we still be excited? It's been so long. Richard's not giving a lot of updates and stuff. And then, so we kind of like lulled to sleep for a minute. And now he's just slowly but surely getting everyone back engaged. Hey, things are close. Be ready any moment. Trying to just make people pay attention right now. That's what I think that's about. I would really love to see everyone enjoying their free coins as soon as possible. Yes, again, we'll take all that with a grain of salt. I don't think Mainnet's going to launch super soon after Testnet, but I would say Testnet is closer as it's ever been. So that's what I think on those two. So that's your devsplain for the update part. And then just wanted to show these candles. By the way, I think on one stream you said red candles means up in like Chinese culture, maybe something like that. Or in China, it's like red candles. It's like opposite. Green candles are down and red candles are up. So I can't really tell if this is like a bear market joke, because this is a screenshot from a previous. He did like the candles. There you go. So that's proof. I just can't remember what reason he did it for us. What we were talking about earlier. So is this like throwback to things are going well, but we're still in a bear market? Did he light the green candles? Did he light the? Maybe he did. Okay, I don't know. He lit the red, maybe, and the green. I'm not sure. He might have lit the candles twice then. So sorry. RH trivia on top of my head. I can't remember exactly, but when he sent that, I was like, whoa, he's feeling good. I'll say that. He's feeling good about all this stuff. So I will pause there for a moment and look at the chat, but we got a lot more to get into as well. So just give me one moment. Yeah, when I'm doing solo streams, I can't just be like, all right, other person talk for a minute. Let me situate stuff. But keyboard went to sleep. Come on, keyboard. All right, before I go into the next part, I will look at the chat, see what you guys have been talking about. Hopefully all good stuff. All right, now I miss spring break. Won't miss Greece this summer thing. Greece, beautiful place. Yeah, especially all over Europe. Summertime is awesome. Love my 30-day dihedron, man. The dihedron and Icosa yield, nothing to mess around with. Amazing, amazing. Crypto Keeper, I tried asking you yesterday. I'm not trying to FUD, but just understand, should a new investor be worried when there are wallets with 800K plus? I'm trying to frame the question in a way that would be something to answer, that I could give you some valuable answer for. I don't remember this yesterday, by the way, but I don't think people having a lot of pulse, getting a lot of pulse in Saccharose. First of all, a lot of the big sacks were pulled. Lots of people doing like a trusted pull and going in on that to get a bigger bonus, more points, all that stuff. So even if you see a really big amount, a lot of those are probably like going to be split up for multiple people, multiple wallets. So if the angle is, should you be worried about whales dumping on launch? Maybe that's a question you could come out from that. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen on launch. I think historically there is a launch of a new product. There is either a run up or and a dump. Usually there's a dump at some point. Usually there's a lot of factors that go into it. How much did it run up from the starting price or the sacrifice price? ICO price for a lot of other projects. And then how long before people say, okay, I've got enough X's now, I want to take some profit, and how that affects the TA and the market psychology and plays into a dump and all that stuff. So typically there is a launch of a new token project, whatever, and then maybe some X's happen, maybe not, and then there's a dump, and then there's reaccumulation and all that stuff. That's what I've seen with other projects in the past. PulseChain is very interesting because there are a lot of people and a lot of money sacrificed for it. Been waiting a long time, which is both good and bad, I would say. So if you've been waiting a long time, especially if you went through what we went through, the brutal bear market, maybe there are a lot of people waiting to dump. However, for the last 2 years, this stuff's been going on. A lot of people missed the sacrifice. So let's say 18 months. Nobody got a good sacrifice rate after that. So 18 months of people who missed the sacrifice or just it wasn't practical to sacrifice for them anymore. And they're very interested in PulseChain. So that could be buy pressure. So there's going to be sell pressure. It's going to be sell pressure coming from a lot of directions. There's going to be buy pressure coming from a lot of directions. Which one wins? Nobody knows. Anyone tells you they know, they don't know. We just know based on what the data is available. What's actually going to happen? Wild speculation. But I would say that if you're worried about whales dumping on launch, if I could frame the question that way, I could say, well, what about all the people who want to buy? What if they buy it up? What if they don't? What if they do dump? And then you get to buy it below sacrifice price for a short time, stuff like that. So I think either way, you can find a strategy to win. So I wouldn't be worried I'm not worried about anything. There's not a single worry on my mind for PulseChain launch whenever it launches and the price of what it'll be. No worries. If it dumps, it's opportunity. If it pumps, it's opportunity. I don't have any worries for PulseChain launch. So just scrolling through before we move on to the next section, I'll do like maybe one or two more questions. And again, if I didn't answer it or you want me to hit a different thing, just drop it in the chat and I'll try to get to it. But I tried to frame that in a way to give you something useful. What's up, UFO? You know what? I didn't even tweet out that I was going to do the stream a minute ago. I just retweeted yours. So appreciate you, man. Everyone, share the link if you like. I tend to like and or retweet anyone who shares the link and tags me in it. So feel free to do that. Hedron is most undervalued. It's went down a lot from its all-time highs. A lot of people are enjoying that yield. A lot of people are we'll see. I wonder, that's a question too. I don't have a really good answer myself, but I want to talk about sometime, maybe on stream with some other folks. Well, I got me, Axis, and Sloth are doing a stream tomorrow. So maybe I'll ask Sloth too, or you can show up and ask the question again to remind me if you want, about what do we think Hedron's going to do going up to PulseChain launch. We know we suspect what Hex is going to do, but what is Hedron going to do? That'll be really interesting. Real warning though, I can't, going back to, let me flip it back over there for a sec. I would be surprised if Richard wasn't actually going to give some sort of heads up. I think, the warning is already here. I think maybe he wants to take pressure off himself and people looking for that and reading into everything. He wants to get you focused on something else. Maybe that's a strategy. But I think at the end of the day, before Mainnet launches, we will see something interesting happen. Or he will drop some hint that people are going to go nuts over. I suspect that more than dead silence and just like a super ninja launch. I mean, I'd be cool either way, but I don't think we're going to do a ninja launch. I don't think. Let's see. Bugs until the market bottoms. Suddenly everything will fix it. What if we bottomed and yeah, I don't know. What if we bottomed and we never see a hex at these prices again and PulseChain just brings everything to moon? Or what if some crazy macro event happens and everything falls down and people are really sad? I don't know. That's why I don't predict or do that type of stuff. Let's see. Obviously, I don't know. I don't think he is until recently. Maybe he is because cherry on top for him, but I don't think he's been timing it for 2 years. Let's see. He's not right about everything, Will he get the Bitcoin 11K and pray? Will he? I don't know. RHMax almost. I'm like, I don't think he's right about everything, but he doesn't need to be. Like, it's not even important. You don't need to be right about everything. You just got to be right a lot, and he is. So, excited. Dave down under, it's getting really close. It gives me energy. I'll say that. I mean, I had energy in the bear market too, but man, I want to see what's up. I want to see those copies. I want to see the trading. I mean, I want to sit back and watch the trading. I'm not going to be trading that much, I don't believe, but I want to see the crazy stuff that's going to happen. So I don't think it'd be boring. I don't think so. AJ Rip City, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, I don't plan to stream every day, but again, today I was like, I need to stream today. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about. That says number of overall PulseChain sacrificers over 10K is actually, yeah, that's true. If you go back and look at it, I'm pretty sure last time it's like there's a lot of people who sacked like $1,000 or $5,000 or even less. I always tell the story too about a friend of mine. I was telling him about the PulseChain sack, and he's got a lot of ETH, and I don't know exactly how much, but he's got a decent amount, and he's had it for a long time. But he doesn't really pay attention to crypto anymore. He just kind of got in early, and he just he's kind of passive in the market. So I was telling about PulseChain, and I'm like, yeah, man, I know you got plenty of ETH. Why not put 10% in the PulseChain, for example? I think it's a really good project. I was just talking to him about it. And eventually he's like, oh yeah, I'll put in 1 ETH. And I don't, I'm not going to say how much he has, but let's say 1 ETH is a fraction. It's like let's say that's 1% of what he has. Let's say that, for example. How mad is he going to be if PulseChain does a 100x, let alone a 10,000x? And I tried to hold myself back. I want to be like, can you do more than 1%? This is not really a 1% deal, man. Like, have you seen Hex? Doing pretty good. This guy knows what he's doing. But everyone gets to make their own choices, and can't save everyone. Is that one of Richard's greatest hits? Can't save everyone. Mark G, do you have a good idea to onboard new people into crypto PulseChain network? Let's say they don't have a Coinbase account. Good question. So pretty sure there'll be bridges, hopefully safe bridges. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So if we have the fiat on ramp from Coast, if 0x Coast is built a fiat on ramp, that gets launched, that's a place people can do it. But again, it's not all this new stuff is not the old and trusted, right? Coinbase is like where you go to do this stuff. They're down sometimes, but they don't lose your money. They have that kind of reputation. So getting the average person on a PulseChain may be a little harder than Ethereum tokens, for example, because then you just go to Coinbase and buy ETH and blah, 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 or otherwise. So I hope there's a very popular and secure bridge that we have to direct people at. and fiat on ramp and all that stuff too, to make it easy. And I hope the community is working on that. I know there's people working on the tech part, but the actual process and onboard. I hope there's like these really simple onboarding guides. I hope there's tutorials everywhere on YouTube and they get thousands of views, and we're able to really concisely share the information of how to get into PulseChain and how to get your copies and how to, that part is pretty easy. It's going to be change a MetaMask section, MetaMask setting, or hopefully, maybe we'll have a wallet or something. But the getting money directly into it, there's probably going to be a buy ETH and convert it type of thing, or USDC and convert it, bridge it, blah, 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 all that stuff. So getting it directly into PulseChain and a place people trust for the general public, that may take a while, but somebody's got to build it. If Richard doesn't build it, the community will. So I wouldn't worry about that. At first, though, we may not have it. It may take a while. Another Axis Sloth. Yeah, we're going to make, more than Hedron. So I'm bringing Sloth on for, Axis asked me because I wanted to ask him about Hedron a bit. He's like, I'll invite Sloth. Okay, done. But Axis, we're going to go on TA. We're going to do a lot of stuff. So tomorrow's stream should be pretty lit too. So I encourage you to join in if you like that. God, 11 scale. Yeah, that's true. 11K on grayscale. I've been wondering like how he's going to spin it. He's going to be like, well, inflation, it was 15K, because Bitcoin touched in that area too. Or, he always says, I changed my mind when the facts change, all this stuff. So marketing genius. I'm sure he'll figure out a way to spin it where he doesn't look like he's totally incorrect. Or just keep talking about all the times that he called 20K Christmas and all this stuff too. He's got plenty of stuff to brag about. He had to brag about everything. Oh, I caught up, man. I'm almost caught up the chat. Before I go into the next section, stay tuned because there's more good content coming. Core PulseChain, how long do you estimate V3 to be live before launch? Covered this briefly earlier, but in my mind, it's still 2 months. So that's what I'm thinking. Depends on when V3 launches. So if V3 takes a month to launch, then maybe I'm not so bullish on mid-May. But if it launches in the next week or two, and it's a crystal ball. I don't know. I don't have one. But in my mind, I'm thinking not give myself anxiety and to not think about it and to, I don't know. But in my mind, I would say 2 to 3 months after testnet, we'll have mainnet if there's no critical bugs. Could be 1 to 2 months. Could be 2 to 3 months. I'm saying in my mind, 2 to 3 months, if no critical bugs are found on testnet. Now, if we have it within a month, hooray, praise everyone. But I'm not going to give myself that kind of pressure. So, and I don't need to. So in my mind, I'll say 1 to 3 months. I'll say that. I don't give a lot of predictions because I don't like to be wrong. So when I say something like that, I think 1 to 3 months sounds reasonable if no critical bugs there. So summertime, hopefully it's funner time for us. All right, one more question, and then I will go to the next section. Nobody talking about how much trust fund investment is waiting on side to buy because trust don't buy in projects. Yeah, that's a good point. Institutional money tends not to buy risky assets. It tends to buy stuff that's been around for a while. Go Hex. And it also, if it doesn't exist, why would you put people's money into it, right? We know what we know, right? We have the faith, we have the belief, we have our own bags that we can do whatever we want with. But when you're using other people's money, you need to be more sure. So, and it makes sense. So we can be early, we can make all the X's. Institutional can come in, they can make fine profits for their clients as well. It's fine if it takes a while, and they don't usually go in early. Let's say that. So I'm going to go to next section. Appreciate it, you all. I want to bring up the stats So somebody tagged me today on Twitter on this video, which I thought was super interesting. Can I make it theater mode so you guys can see it? Okay. So, and I'll drop the link in here. If you comment, tell him Max sent you. If you want to, you don't have to, but he will know that I covered the video at least, I guess. So I don't know if these numbers are correct. I haven't fact checked any of this stuff. But if the numbers are correct, it's interesting. So total supply, huge. If the OA, if 90% belongs to the OA, huge amount. Benevolent well, we believe, all that stuff. And then he's breaking down less than 10% in true circulation. Much smaller number than these, right? And then if there's a bunch of it staked or loaned or, validator, tied up in validation and so on, then, we could say 35% liquid maybe. And then of that liquid, what's actually on the market could be a much smaller amount. So that's interesting, right? And so basically this video just goes over a lot of different of the, fundamentals type of thing. A lot of different scenarios that could be good. And I took a few notes too, and I'm going to walk through a couple of them. So these are kind of like my thoughts mixed in with some of the notes and stuff I got from his video. So first thing I wanted to say is if there's 150 plus projects building on PulseChain, let's say there's 100, whatever the number is, that means hundreds of developers, maybe thousands on PulseChain at launch. So again, if these numbers are accurate as far as the supply and the stuff, apparently none of those developers care about the OA holding a majority of the supply, and they truly believe the centralization of price, not mining, not validating. We want, we value decentralization for the nodes and stuff, but the centralization of price, one of the core tenets of Richard's projects, right? And the benevolence of the mega whales, such as the OA, Godwell, all those folks. That's just this bullish realization I had this morning. This video just made me think of that too. I was like, there's so many developers and so many projects we're already launching with. It's just, it kind of takes a while to kind of peel that onion back, but that's amazing. All those people believe in it. And if you think for every developer, there's, I don't know, I'm just pulling these numbers out of my butt, but like every developer, there's 100 users or something, every developer, there's 1,000 users, whatever you want to say. That's a lot of people who are just bought into the system. And the whole centralization of price narrative with benevolent whales, this is some, Nobel Prize. I don't know. This will be a super interesting case study in the future. They'll probably be teaching it in crypto classes for new founders or whatever in universities or courses or whatever. It's amazing. So that was cool. Thought about that. And the sellers and buyers, I covered this a little bit earlier too, but we don't know how many sellers there's going to be. We know there's going to be a lot of buyers that dig in and sacked, most likely. But probably 2 to 3 weeks before some of these projects are available. So we think that generally the consensus is PulseChain is going to launch. And then liquid loans, Power City, all this stuff. There'll probably be a lot of volatility, so they may not launch immediately. They may take a few weeks for them to launch. So that's time to shake out the ultra weekends. Everybody just wants to dump. Boom, they get to dump, the first few weeks before they can actually even have a chance to lock some of it up. If they're planning on doing that for loans or for, to mint stable coins and all that type of stuff, all the services that some of the community projects offer. And then after that, the weak hands, the strong hands, the diamond hands, they can lock it up or otherwise put their coins in cold storage for 1 or 2 years, whatever the plan is. So the first 2 months, I think are going to be fascinating to watch on launch because we won't have all the utilities available to us yet immediately. A lot of the ratio trading is going to happen. People's bags can be switched around if they participate in it. What's Hex going to do? Flawless launch, hopefully. First couple months are going to be insane. And then, yeah, what if first couple months, insane volatility, maybe a bunch of X's, maybe a dump after that, and then accumulation phase, or maybe this is like the most exciting thing in crypto. So based on the macro environment, a lot of money on the sidelines, a lot of capital getting unlocked at launch. What if they're like, nope, we just ain't going to sell. If you want it, you got to pay the big price. What if we all just hold out for 100x, 200x, 1000x? What if nobody sells? Nobody meaning not nobody, but like, what if there's not a lot of selling compared to a lot of other launches? What if this launch is different? Or what if it's not? Either way, as I mentioned earlier, you can have strategies and profit regardless of what happens. If there's a dump, you know what you can do. If there's a run up, you have a plan. If you just want to lock everything up for 2 years, as long as you got to hold on maybe for a little bit to get access to some of these products to do that. Or if you just want to send it to a cold wallet, put it old fashioned, lock and key on it or whatever, you can do it. So opportunities are insane. It's all up to you. It's great. Another point, community. People aren't leaving PulseChain anytime soon. And I say that meaning they just got here, especially the devs, especially the people who, a lot of the PulseChain people are Hexicans. They have a long-term mindset. This is the first growth cycle. This is the green pastures everywhere. This is price discovery. This is seeing what people are going to do, minting new whales. The community, as far as, there's going to be a lot of people that dump and never talk about PulseChain again. Are those the people we want in long term, or do we want the people who stick around and have a longer time horizon? Chances are, a lot of the Hexicans who know the game, they've been in Hex, they know how to make profit. They're going to try to apply some of that knowledge and learning to PulseChain. They'll be around for a while. So much good stuff. Like, I want to invite chat to tell me the bad news. Now, not FUD. Again, I'm not here for hopium. I'm just trying to give you objective viewpoints from what I see, what we know. But chat, tell me what could go wrong. Tell me, you don't have to FUD. It's not about FUDing. So, like, some of the downside, like what is some of the risk downsides or whatever? PulseChain launching this year, this summer, whatever, when everything's going to launch. What if more macro stuff comes and everything crashes again? Again, opportunities, ups and downs, people can take advantage of. Some major bug in some of the products, downtime, not a flawless launch. I got to think Richard's been shining up this launch for a while now. He's not going to let that happen. His glory, part of his glory is getting it done right. And he didn't make it this far for it to go wrong. So I think taking his time has that, makes things seem like there'll be a very stable, flawless launch. That's what we hope that happen. And he's going to do everything to make sure that happens. Some horrible regulation that somehow makes it through, and America becomes like this socialist country now. And they just like start taxing all the billionaires, and crypto's bad. We don't want to incentivize it, all that stuff. Again, let me know your worries. Not FUD. Let's be adults. Let's have an intellectual conversation. But those are just a few things I could think of. But I don't see any of them being plausible. Maybe the macro stuff, but that's about it. So I don't know what the bad news is. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. This is your time to shine. Nobody yelled at anybody for saying bad stuff either. Again, adult conversation. AJ Rip City says, we've already been through the worst, Max. Worries lack of faith. I think there's some healthy, but it's not about worry. It's about I agree with you, but I'm just trying to think of how to think about this. I think preparation kills a lot of the worries. Worry is like about unknown. Worry is about you don't know what to do if something happens. But if you have a plan, things go up or things go down, what are you worried about, right? If you got plan A, plan B, plan C. You got the Excel spreadsheets. You got the Word docs. You got the calendar reminders. You got, you printed it out. You went through it with your friend, your wife, your, whoever. What are you worried about? Let the rest take care of it. Dex bug leading to massive theft. Yeah, that would be. So I kind of mentioned, I was talking about the products too, a critical bug in one of the products that everyone loves to use, not necessarily PulseChain or PulseX, but a critical bug in, anything that a lot of people like and is popular and used, and it's, it leads to a massive theft of coins. That could be something that could happen too. We certainly hope the devs after the last 2 years have worked out the kinks. We certainly hope so. And Testnet V3 is a great place to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. So we will do that. Yes. So critical bugs in software. That's what we're worried about. Yeah, cool. Again, this is we're not fighting. We're talking as adults here. I'm not going to pretend like everyone lives forever. Not yet. We're working on it though. Longevity. Hashtag longevity. Just looking for a minute. Yeah, flash loans. Yeah, any kind of bugs or those kinds of things taking advantage of people or their bags, it's possible. But we just gotta. I'll be on stream Thursday with Ben Dubard, talking some deep technical stuff on security. We're not talking about hardware wallets the entire time, like how people get hacked, how to avoid getting hacked, which hardware wallets is certainly a component of that, but there's a lot more than that. So catch me Thursday around 4 p.m. Pacific if you want to learn some security stuff and ask your questions there. Let's see. Okay, cool. Again, if you have anything in the chat, I will not call you a futter. Put it in because I will tell you what I think about it. And I'm going to go back to the other comments. AJ Rip City Ghosts. No name pleb. Ghost chains have done 10 to 1,000. I know it's kind of amazing. I don't have the chart in front of me, but if y'all seen before, I've tweeted it out, I've talked about it. The number of X's DEXs have done, L1s have done in short amount of time, in 1 year time, 2 year time, 3 year time. And PulseX or PulseChain, the whole ecosystem is designed, well, let's say the whole ecosystem. PulseChain and PulseX are designed to moon. So I don't know what to tell you if you're not bullish on this ecosystem, and especially the blue chips. Just scrolling through. I think let's see. Did I go through all my content? Yeah, most of it actually. Man, I am on time. Look at that, 48 minutes. It says it's going to go an hour, 48 minutes. So I got 11 minutes, 49 minutes. I got 11 minutes. Making this 1 hour stream today. Get your questions in, and I will get your questions, your comments, whatever you want to talk about, because good stuff is happening. Let me just go through Richard's Twitter real quick, see if he tweeted anything else interesting. Hex has outperformed everything in 2023. That is a good sight to see right there. Very good sight to see. Yeah, Hex up 25. I know we hit 10 cents today. I'll do the trading view. Hex. Where are we at? Back to 9.6. Amazing though. Amazing. Look at this. Amazing. Could have bought anywhere. You could have been like, 2023, you're going to save my life. Could have got a 5X buying right after Christmas. Could have used your Christmas money. Get those cards with the checks and stuff in it. Could have cashed those checks. Got those into crypto. Everything's up to you. It is full personal accountability, responsibility. Hopefully you find the right education and you learn how to be successful. Because you can do it. Like anyone says you can't get rich, they're not correct. Boom. Beautiful. Wonder where we're going from here. I do not know, but I think I like it. Scroll through for a minute. And again, if you guys haven't seen this, amazing Excellent job, Westcott Crypto. Amazing. So fun to sing along with too. Oh, security alert real quick. By the way, Richard was super good tweeting this out. If you have an Android phone, turn off Wi-Fi calling. Go to your settings, search, type in Wi-Fi calling, hit it off. I know it's a great feature. I use it a lot too. Turn it off until you get a patch. I tweeted about this earlier. Nobody cares as usual, but security stuff. This is like the most critical bug. I'll talk about this Thursday on the stream with Ben too. This is one of, or not, if not the most critical bug on your phone could ever have. It's like, I need to go through the technical details a little bit more too, but from what I can see, if you have Wi-Fi calling on, they found a bug where all they need is your phone number and they could compromise your phone. Like that's where the exploited payload happens in that kind of context. It's crazy. So if you have an Android phone, settings, search, Wi-Fi calling off until you get a patch, until you update, until there's a patch available, and then you update your phone, and then hopefully they fix it correctly, turn it back on. So I don't want anyone who knows my phone number to be able to do stuff like that, and neither should you. I don't see anything new. I think I covered a lot of this stuff too. Yeah, I'll just go to questions. I'll leave this on here because it's important. But I will go to questions and we'll wrap up in 7.5 minutes. From the Chad of the Donner family. Think of the Donner Party so many times too. So many references with your name, Chad. Amazing. Dry powder ready to deploy the first 60 days. I certainly hope so. I think that's definitely true. I wonder how much. I hope it's a lot. I hope no more macro events scare people. I hope people deploy their capital in products that work well, that treat their money right, and they make excellent returns. And then everyone wins. They tell other people, network effect. Everyone knows about PulseChain, hottest thing in crypto. They get to explore the amazing ecosystem. They get to learn about Hex. Everyone wins. I want this positive sum game. Positive sum. I don't want to be the only one getting rich. I want everyone to get rich who puts in the work and deserves it based on where they put their money and where they make their investments. What's up, Simba? PulseChain 2024. Shanghai fork goes harsh. Yeah, I highly doubtful, but thanks for bringing it up. I guess. No, I know I've seen Simba say some funny stuff before, so that's sarcasm. I wonder if you are being sarcastic. That's a good one. HODLfest 2023. A lot of people think that 2024, 2025, everything's going to moon. What if PulseChain does 100x this year and then does 1,000x in 2024, 2025? Can you HODL? Can you buy low or hold low and sell high? Or are you going to be like the 99% and buy high and sell low? It's all up to you. I love that. Scrolling through. Will we be able to stake PulseChain after it launches? So if you're a validator, a lot of nuance to this question. If you're a validator and you're running that, there's a staking deal with that, 32 million pulse, all this stuff. I talked about this before, but liquid loans, Power City and stuff, a lot of people suspect they won't be available to do that until the volatility dies down. So if you're wanting to do something, if you're wanting to lock PulseChain up after launch, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, drop something in there, but I don't know of any, at least those two products, I don't think will be available immediately, but I think they'll be available afterwards. Could be weeks, could be a month or two. Last time I talked to Jesse, I think was it Jesse or somebody from those teams? They said it's probably not at launch, but afterwards. Hexagon Radio Network, thank you very much. Appreciate you showing up here. Yeah, get any questions. You got 4 minutes to chat. Appreciate everyone joining me. Hope you got a lot out of this. I feel like, I was able to share some stuff, my understanding of things. If you didn't understand something, just ask me and I'll see if I can get to it. Do you think if you had 8K in Pulse at the beginning from the bottom of SAC, is that a worthy investment? So you're talking about if you put 8K, if you sacked 8K and you got the best deal, you got in like the first week or two. I mean, if you believe it's going to go 100x, for example, or 1000x, it's a better investment than 1K, better investment than 1 ETH, as did, or supposedly did. You have to verify afterwards if he starts crying really bad. It's like, oh no, mate, I didn't know. It's like, oh, you didn't know? I didn't tell you. I didn't go out of my way to tell you that this was a legit project. I didn't go out of my way to do that several times. I'm not the person who will rub it in your face. I'm not the person who wants to brag afterwards, but I'll let the tears figure it out. I'll give you a pat on the back. How about that? Say, get him next time, or buy the dump, if that kind of thing happens. Look, I've been thinking about what am I going to tell him after launch? And he's like, oh, I wish I would have got in the sack, mate. And be like, if a dump happens, I'm going to say, I'm point at it and say, there's opportunity. Dr. Chaotic's in the house. Good to see you as usual. Silly BTC bro, still waiting someday 510x. I know. We didn't even address Bitcoin and the price performance today, Johnny, but now we have. It is not price performant as other tokens that focus on price performance and the technology. You are correct. Yeah, he appears. Arizona RC, I do not give financial advice. I know you're joking, but yeah, I don't like taking loans on stuff to put in risk on assets, even Richard Hart products. I'm like, I don't want that pressure. I try to leave. I don't like debt pressure. So I know there's good debt. You can use it in ways that are good, but if you're trying to time the market with debt, that's something I avoid. But yeah, you're funny, man. Not financial advice. They're not giving advice of any sort. I'm just talk on the internets. Finishing up. I already got 3 family members and Hex pillows. Everyone's pumped. Cool, man. Cool. Wish you riches to you and your family. Do some cool stuff with it. Once you figure out, or once you get rich, then you can figure out what you really want to do. It's if you don't already have a plan. So, but you got to get rich first. That's what Naval Ravikant, one of my favorite people for health, wealth, wisdom. Get yourself rich first, and then figure out what you want to do. Oh, Ivan just tweeted the West video. Nice. Yeah, man, Ivan's in. BitBoy. If y'all saw that, Air Friend Somi had referenced the clip that I posted about BitBoy, him having $369 worth of Hex and it being worth $60K in the early days. The influencers, they're running out of products. They're running out of stuff that sucks to shill. And again, 2023, PulseChain's the only thing going on as far as good news. So, and Hex, of course. So they're awakening. This is the awakening. 2023, year of the awakening for the influencers. And welcome to Team Win. Yeah, Ivan BitBoy, if you guys want to ever come on the channel, let me know. I will ask you good questions. We'll have a good time. Matthew Scott, I had a buddy say he was going to emergency and stake his Hex stakes and bridge his Hex to PLS to restake on PLS. I'm not doing. Curious what you think. I don't know. I was clipping some Richard videos before. I think he addressed it. Somebody asked about should you emergency and stake to do sack phase, for example. I think that was the question. I just don't like emergency in staking unless I absolutely have to. Like, it better be a really good reason, and you're trading, right? In this scenario, you believe that PHEX, you believe you're trying to do some kind of, you're predicting, you want more PX, right? In this scenario, if I'm reading it correctly. So you're speculating, right? Because we don't know what it's going to be worth. So it's like, how much you're going to lose on your emergency in stake. I don't know. I don't have any plans to end any stakes for PX. I just want to get my copies. So it just seems like a risky move. But I don't know, though. It just seems like a risky thing to do. And I would need to be more rewarded than just being like, oh, maybe I'll double my bag. It's like, what if you don't? And now you lost your T-shares, So PulseChain is alive. Are you from the future? Are you from May 17th, 2023? Did RHMax just reveal the launch date for PulseChain? No, I did not. That is mid-May, though. So who, dude? What was the Android info? Some kind of link? No, it's from what I read. I'm gonna read it fully before I do the security stream on Thursday with Ben. But from what I've read so far, it literally is like, if you have someone's phone number, they can potentially exploit the bug, and it looks pretty serious. And the people who found the bug are from Google Project Zero, which is this elite security team within Google. They just go like breaking all the stuff and of course telling people how to fix it. So whatever they say is legit. Google Project Zero they don't mess around. So they found these bugs. And from what I read so far, you just need a phone number and you need Wi-Fi calling to be on. So it sounds like through a phone number or some way to communicate, they're able to hit the Wi-Fi daemon. Getting a little technical here, but they're able to hit the bug in the Wi-Fi daemon, for example, and execute code on the phone, which means game over. It's probably running as root or something, because that's like usually a privileged thing because it's drivers and stuff. Without getting too technical, very serious bug, and it's not even no user interaction required, from what I read. I'm going to dig more into it Thursday, so come by my stream with Ben Dubard on Thursday if you want to know more. Mix from the future. Is that what happened in after PulseChain launches? We figured out that we're going to be minting hex. We're not going to be mining it. We're not going to be publishing or be minting hex. That would be the worst thing. Minter app. Minter app B2. Oh, so sorry for everyone who made staker stuff if we actually do change. A lot of branding around that. Okay, I just went over. Okay, 5 more minutes. Five more minutes. Let me get through these questions. Paul, can you do Eric Wall impression? Not off the top of my head, but I think he's a secret Mexican. I think is that the bull run? Is that the bull flag when we see Eric Wall being like, just bought Hex? That's it. That's what he tweets. That'd be funny. I wish I could. I would do it if I could do a good impression. With staking PulseX, will there be options with no time limits? He answers them 14 things. I don't think there's any time locks natively to PulseChain or PulseX. Things could change. We haven't seen V3 yet. There may be updates. Probably not, though. Nor in any of the community projects other than, or at least the ones I've been talking about, Liquid Loans and Pulse Power City. They're not time lock periods as far as I know. Not saying no products on PulseChain will have that, but I'm saying the ones that I've been mentioning here, Liquid Loans and Power City, I don't think they have any time lock for it. So it's like, you can, whatever you do with it on their platform, you can end it or do it without a time period, I believe, as far as I know. Matthew said that's what he wants. Pulse launches, he's moving all his hex over. Merchant stakes. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's a good play. Maybe it's not. So we'll have to, it's almost like trading to me. That's why I'm like a little, I wouldn't, unless I for sure saw like, well, this is like a 2 or 3 or 5x move. I'm going to keep things where I am until PulseChain launches because, I'm trying not to speculate. Again, I want to give you guys good information, what I know, what I believe to be true, and what doesn't sound crazy. So not the hopium stream. So I'm trying to keep it as real as I can. What other options, products other than trading will be available after launch? You said, stay with me. I would say search for, I did a lot of videos. I have some more coming out about different PulseChain products. Me and Nate Mintz, aka Nate Stakes, did a PulseChain project stream. We went over a Pulse hot list and went over a lot of stuff that on there or that we like. And otherwise, I would say watch that stream. Type in RHMax PulseChain project stream, PulseChain bullish stream, one of those, and check that out. I believe I clipped it as well. It's like 12 products launching on PulseChain, something like that. Check that out because we talk about a lot of different ones. So everything that's on Ethereum, we got Hedron, Maximus, all that stuff. It'll be there as well. All the memes that have launched already will be there too. Yeah, talking about the influencers. You can only, if you don't want to get sued, it seems like shilling trustless DeFi is safer than, middleman DeFi. I had to throw a greatest hits RH in there. Let's see. Yeah, I know. And I think it's weighted too at the end. If you're like, oh, 95%, I've got all my yield now. Actually, there's a chart. This needs to be more public information, but there's a lot of it's weighted towards the end. So if you think you're only going to lose 5% or whatever, it's best to do what you say you're going to do, or game plan around what you know you're going to lose. All right, everyone. I think I'm called up. Good to see you, Crypto Gains Club. Everyone, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Hopefully this was helpful. Hit me up on Twitter at RHMaximalist if you have any further other questions, or if you have stuff you want me to stream about, hit me up too. I take suggestions and can't say I will do everything. No promises, but tomorrow we got Axis and Crypto Sloth on the channel, and those going to be blazing. Going to be a great stream talking about TA and Hedron stuff. And then what else we got? It's Thursday, security stream with Ben Dubard. Go sub to his channel if you want to see that coming up, or follow me on Twitter and you'll see me retweet it as well, or do both. And never know, Richard tweets something crazy. I may do another solo stream. So it should be fun. Exciting times indeed, UFO. Exciting times indeed. Everyone, that's it for me today. Catch me on Twitter. Catch me live later on. 2023 is not a boring year at all. And I certainly wish you all riches and mad gains. And Scivive and 5555, everyone.